Today, we will use a scientific perspective to explore the complex truth behind meteorological events. According to the latest news from CNN, the largest snowstorm in more than 2 years hit New York City on February 13th, with heavy snow extending from New Jersey to near Boston. The storm buried parts of the Northeast, falling more than a foot of snow and knocking out power to more than 180,000 homes and businesses in the region. A 20-year-old Pennsylvania man was killed in a snowmobile accident, and state authorities were responding to multiple hazards from the storm, including downed power lines and trees, the Newberry Township Police Department said in a statement. A snowstorm continued to disrupt travel across the region Tuesday night, disrupting flights and making driving dangerous. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy said more than 250 crashes have been reported to New Jersey State Police. The storm was incredibly difficult to predict, bringing more than 15 inches of snow to Hartford, Connecticut, and at least 6 inches to New York City, including 3.2 inches to Central Park. Thank you for liking, leaving comments, subscribing and turning on the little bell. We will update every day. Air travel in the Northeast was hampered by the storm. More than 1,100 flights were canceled across the United States on Tuesday, mostly in and out of major airports in New York, Boston, and New Jersey. Coastal flood warnings will remain in effect along parts of the New Jersey and Delaware coast, as wind gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour push water ashore. Coastal flooding from New Jersey to southern New England, including Long Island and Connecticut, could also reach 2 to 3 feet at high tide Tuesday night. More than 130,000 customers were without power in Pennsylvania, and thousands more were without power in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, Maryland, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Virginia. The blizzard weighed down tree branches across the area, and high winds made the situation worse. New York City public schools transitioned to remote learning for the day. Elsewhere, classes were canceled in urban areas, including Boston. The United States is frequently hit by snowstorms, and the reasons are complex. First, climate change leads to an increase in extreme weather events. In recent years, due to the influence of global warming, the intersection of warm and humid air currents and cold air in the United States has increased, making snowstorms more likely to occur. According to statistics from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the frequency of snowstorms in the northern United States has increased significantly over the past few decades. Secondly, there is the impact of Atlantic variability. Atlantic variability refers to changes in Atlantic sea temperatures and atmospheric circulation, which can affect temperatures and precipitation in the eastern United States. During the positive phase, the surface sea temperature in the Atlantic Ocean is warmer, making it more likely that the Arctic cold current will move southward to the northeastern United States, which is prone to snowstorms. During the negative phase, the sea surface temperature is relatively cold, and there are fewer snowstorms in the northeastern United States. More importantly, the impact of La Niña. The La Niña phenomenon will increase the sea temperature of the Pacific Ocean, affect the atmospheric circulation in North America, and enhance the southward movement of cold air from the Arctic and Canada. During La Niña events, the frequency of extreme cold snaps and heavy snowfalls in the Midwestern United States will increase. Studies have shown that the average snow accumulation in the United States in strong La Niña years is more than 20% higher than in normal years. What cannot be ignored is that it may be related to the reduction of Arctic sea ice. The Arctic sea ice has been declining at an accelerated rate in recent years, making it easier for cold polar air to travel south to the North American continent, exacerbating the occurrence of extreme winter weather. Some research results show that the decrease in Arctic sea ice is related to the increase in heavy snow belts in North America in winter. What deserves more attention is that large-scale weather patterns also affect the frequency of snowstorms in the United States. For example, changes in the North Atlantic Oscillation and Arctic Oscillation will change the upper altitude jet stream and affect the intersection of mid- and low-level moist airflow with cold air from the north. If the oscillation is abnormally strengthened, it will make it easier for polar cold air to invade the interior of North America and produce more blizzards. What cannot be ignored is that local topography and landform factors are also very important. The mountainous areas and Great Lakes areas in the northeastern United States are all prone to snowstorms. When large-scale weather systems encounter these terrains, blizzards can easily occur and intensify. For example, New England is close to the Atlantic Ocean and has abundant water vapor sources. When encountering the tidal effect and mountain effect of the Great Lakes, outstanding heavy snow weather is often produced. The world's major blizzard-prone areas are mainly concentrated in the mid- and high-latitude lands of the Northern Hemisphere, especially the uplifted terrain areas on the downwind side. Specifically, Eastern North America, the east coast of East Asia, Eastern Europe and the Siberian Plain are all areas prone to extreme snowstorms in the world. First of all, the east coast of North America is the area with the most frequent snowstorms in the world. There are several major snowstorms in the northeastern United States from Boston to Washington every year. In winter, blizzard storms of hurricane magnitude often occur, with snowfall of more than 50 centimeters lasting for 24 hours. The highest daily snowfall record is 195 centimeters, which is equivalent to the strongest wind force of a mid-latitude tropical cyclone. The main reason for such a high level is the enhanced convergence of two strong water vapor sources and the combined effect of the inland lake effect. Secondly, the Scandinavia Peninsula and Siberia in Eastern Europe are the home fields of continental extreme weather. Their location near the poles feels the dual influence of extremely strong cold air and the northeast monsoon. The highest daily snowfall in Siberia, Russia, reached 181 centimeters. The cold wave effect in Eurasia makes extreme low temperatures often accompanied by such processes. In addition to the above-mentioned typical areas, some mountainous terrains can also trigger local blizzards. Such blizzard disasters exist in the Alps in Europe, the Changbai Mountains in East Asia, and the Rocky Mountains in North America. Judging from observational data from various countries around the world, blizzard weather has indeed undergone significant changes worldwide in recent years, mainly reflected in the expansion of the scope of influence, the increase in snowfall, and the extension of the duration of the event. Specifically, in the past 30 years, the maximum snow depth in a season has increased by 20 to 30% in most areas of the United States. Snowfall in Quebec, Canada, also increased by about 37%. This indicates that snowstorm coverage is expanding in mid- and high latitudes of North America. At the same time, extreme snowfall events are also increasing in Europe's middle and high latitudes. The area covered by heavy snow increased by 10% and 20% respectively in Finland and Sweden. Observations of the daily maximum snow depth in Eastern European countries show that it has increased by about 15 centimeters in the past 20 years. This shows that the intensity of a single blizzard is also increasing. In addition to coverage and extreme values, the duration of blizzards also shows a significantly longer trend. The period of snowfall in the Northern Hemisphere landwinter has increased by 1.6 days per decade. The increase is more obvious in the middle and high latitudes of Asia, reaching 4 to 8 days per decade. This increases the spatial and temporal accumulation of related disasters such as large-scale traffic jams. Model projections also show that in the context of global warming, extreme snowfall in the mid-latitudes of the Northern Hemisphere will increase by about 20% by 2050. Therefore, judging from existing observations and future predictions, the risk of blizzard disasters in the middle and high latitudes of the Northern Hemisphere is indeed on the rise. This is a trend that cannot be ignored. After a snowstorm, a variety of secondary disasters usually occur. First, there is severe traffic paralysis. Heavy snow can cause roads to become icy and clogged with garbage, leading to serious traffic jams or even complete paralysis. Planes are unable to take off and land, train transportation is interrupted, and road traffic is slow or blocked. This not only affects the transportation of disaster relief materials, but also delays patients' medical treatment. Traffic accidents are prone to occur on icy roads, especially chain rear-end collisions. Secondly, it will cause large-scale power outages. Snowstorms often knock down power lines or break tree branches and crush utility poles, causing power outages. Sustained low temperatures over a large area will also increase residents' electricity load, further aggravating the overload of the transmission system and easily causing tripping and power outages. This will lead to a complete paralysis of home life and commercial activities and also increase the risk of life, especially the harm to the sick and the elderly. More seriously, it can cause damage to the water supply system. Snowstorms seriously affect water supply facilities, causing burst pipes and damage to water treatment systems. A large number of residents were forced to face water shortages. Water pollution can also threaten health. In addition, snowmelt floods can also destroy dikes and pollute water sources. In addition, it will also cause communication interruption. Mobile base stations cannot work after a power outage, and landline calls will also be disrupted in large areas. This will result in the disaster area being cut off from the outside world, making it impossible to send distress signals and increasing the risk to lives. This also makes it impossible to seek help through the internet and other means, making rescue more difficult. It is worth mentioning that it will cause damage to the building. Heavy snowstorms in blizzards can easily cause a series of structural damage such as roof collapse, exterior walls falling off, falling trees, broken poles and wires of civil buildings, posing a threat to building safety. Too much snow entering a house will increase the load on the roof and collapse the building. In addition, melting snow will penetrate into the house and damage the interior decoration. In addition, snowstorms can also cause injuries and deaths of people trapped in cars for long periods of time. In severe traffic jams caused by heavy snow, many people are trapped in cars, and the temperature inside the car can quickly drop to fatally low temperatures, which can cause severe hypothermia and injury to the people in the car. Some people mistakenly leave their vehicles running to obtain heat, but this can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning accidents. What is easily overlooked is the fire hazard caused by snowstorms. Surges in heating loads increase fire hazards. After a snowstorm cuts off the power supply, some people will use open fires to keep warm, which can lead to frequent fires. The fire will also be difficult to rescue due to impassable roads. Even more far-reaching is the blizzard's paralysis of urban operations. Traffic disruptions have completely paralyzed public service systems such as medical care, firefighting, debris removal, public transportation, etc., which will greatly hinder life. Lack of access to essential services such as dialysis and medication supplies can also be life-threatening. The garbage cannot be cleaned and will pollute the environment. Government functions are also affected. What is more long-term is the economic losses and production interruptions caused by the snowstorm. The snowstorm has caused travel difficulties, will lead to the closure of businesses, affected consumption, and put all walks of life facing severe challenges. Cutting off routes to work can also cause production to come to a complete halt. These will severely impact the economy and have lasting effects. In fact, some means and measures are very important to prevent snowstorms. First, we need to strengthen meteorological monitoring and early warning. It mainly starts from improving the accuracy of observation equipment, establishing precise numerical models, setting up redundant equipment, and expanding early warning release channels. It is necessary to enhance the monitoring and simulation capabilities of cloud system development, movement speed and direction, precipitation intensity, and other parameters, shorten the forecast time and distance scale, and quickly and effectively convey early warning information to emergency management departments, news media, and the general public. Secondly, we must plan a scientific urban disaster prevention system. The focus is to improve the wind and snow resistance of pipeline power facilities and adopt burying and isolation measures to reinforce important buildings, especially sports venues and activity centers, to increase the structural wind resistance, and to formulate complete medical rescue and rescue measures for different extreme weather conditions. Traffic diversion and other emergency plans. In addition, road maintenance should be done well. Equip high-efficiency snow removal equipment to ensure smooth traffic arteries. Use antifreeze chemical reagents or special polymer materials to improve the anti-slip properties of roads. Set up obvious warning signs and protective railings to optimize de-icing operation time and improve antifreeze response speed. At the same time, routine snow prevention training and drills should be carried out. More importantly, it is necessary to strengthen driving skills training and provide safe driving courses such as vehicle control and hazard avoidance under extreme weather conditions for the general public and professional drivers, and conduct theoretical training and simulated operation training to improve the response to complex weather ability, and implement traffic control during prone periods. At the same time, it is necessary to stock up on daily necessities in advance. Families and relevant departments must prepare food, beverages, medicines, oil, emergency tools, and other daily necessities in advance, and equip important equipment with backup power to ensure that normal work and life can be maintained for at least a week. What cannot be ignored is the need to formulate an emergency evacuation plan. In areas where blizzards are likely to occur, it is necessary to plan in advance safe evacuation sites, route selection principles, division of tasks among family members, etc., and adopt appropriate forms of education and drills to ensure that the whole society is clear about their responsibilities and actions in emergencies. There are many countries around the world that perform well in dealing with blizzard weather. These countries are mainly located in the cold high latitudes of the Northern Hemisphere. The first is Canada. As a typical northern country, it covers almost the entire Arctic region. It encounters multiple severe snowstorms every year, so it has the most abundant snow and ice prevention measures. Canada's Road Transportation Department has a dedicated anti-ice and anti-skid office, systematically maintains road anti-skid facilities, and has established a complete early warning mechanism for snow and ice damage. At the same time, the government invested a lot of money in scientific research to develop various anti-skid materials and snow melting equipment. Secondly, the northern states in the United States, such as Minnesota and North Dakota, also have rich experience in dealing with blizzards and have developed snow management systems and disaster prevention and reduction systems. For example, early warning mechanisms, designated severe disaster areas, priority post-snow rescue mechanisms in important areas such as hospitals, etc. It is worth mentioning that Nordic countries such as Norway, Finland, and Sweden have also established systematic snow disaster response plans based on efficient government systems. Priority will be given to cleaning up key public facilities and roads. During large-scale snowstorms, traffic control measures can be taken and schools and factories can be temporarily closed. We also have a complete system for snow disaster rescue. Thank you for liking, leaving a message, subscribing and turning on the little bell. We will update the latest news from around the world every day. Continue to use a scientific perspective to explore the complex truth behind meteorological events.